Alright, everything's good. Alright, so welcome to the first of many Kerbal Space Program videos that I plan on making. So anyways, this first video is the flight of my Saber Twintooth rocket. So I'm going to do is click on Start Game. And we want to click Resume Saved. And it's Fun Adventure. I called my saved file the Fun Adventures because in this, I just play this for fun. So I have this on the sandbox mode, which means that research and development, administration building, those buildings in mission control, I won't be able to access those because on sandbox mode, I can't access them. With sandbox mode, I get everything right at the start. So, but nothing really progresses in the game. So anyways, let's go ahead and enter the building. So yeah, what I want to do is open in my Saber Twintooth. Alright. So yeah, I made this rocket similar to what the Mercury Redstone rocket was. It was a rocket that would launch, and then once the capsule hits the apoapsis, then it would fall back down to Earth, or Kerbal in this case, and land. That's what it was for Mercury Redstone back in the 1960s. And as part of the Mercury 7. There's lots of documentaries on the Mercury 7 as well as The Right Stuff, which was a good movie and book. So yeah, for crew, I know who, yeah, Jebediah is good, but I actually want one of these guys to do it. I was gonna have Hybe do flying duties. Alright. So yeah, rocket looks pretty good. So yeah, I used the LVT-45 swivel engine, which is just powerful enough to get the rocket up into space. Don't really need to go overkill on the engine, just need an engine that's strong enough to lift it up and get it up into space. So yeah, thrust to weight ratio is 1.41, which is in that ratio, the golden ratio. Usually for thrust to weight ratio, it's got to be at least 1.33 or higher, just to be safe. So yeah, I called this the Saber Twintooth rocket because it's part of my Sabertooth rocket series. So you know, a normal rocket usually has 4 fins on the bottom for its aerodynamics. On this one, I put 8 fins on it. I doubled the number of fins, thus I call it the Twintooth, because instead of just a set of teeth being 4 fins, it actually has twin sets of teeth, 8 fins. Alright, so yeah, let's see. I got the engine, the coupler, which will separate the stage from the monopropellant tank. And that separates the monopropellant tank from the capsule, and then the parachute, which, you know what the parachute does. It slows the capsule down. Alright. So yeah, I have the basic essentials. The parachute, monopropellant thrusters, the heat shield on the bottom of the capsule, the monopropellant tank, battery, solar panel, antenna, and then the rocket itself. The fuel tanks that comprise of liquid fuel and oxidizer in it. Alright, so let's go ahead and launch. So let's send this thing up into space. Alright. So Hybe's doing good. She radioed in. She said she's good. Okay, so we want to put this at maximum throttle. Turn the SAS on. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Have ignition and liftoff. So yeah, rocket goes up pretty much in a straight path, and then once you get to 50 meters per second, that's when I want to switch it on to the prograde vector. That way then, this will then set up the rocket's trajectory so it will land. So it should land in the ocean, because that's where I want the capsule to land. I don't want the capsule to land on land, or else it might explode, which wouldn't be pretty for Hybe, because yeah, I've seen tons of explosions in Kerbal Space Program. Alright, rocket's looking good so far. Getting close to where I need to jettison the stage. Penetrate the atmosphere. Hybee's still looking good. She's still looking good in there. Alright. And it's out of fuel. Jettison the stage. Yep, and then the capsule now should drift up into into space thanks to the momentum of the rocket launch. So yeah, and then what I would want to do now is extend the antennas. And I don't really need to transmit data with this because since it's on sandbox mode, I'm not going to get any science or anything out of this, but I just do it just for the fun of it. And anyway, if I was not in science mode, well, not science mode, but in sandbox mode, I'd have to do it anyways to gather the science needed to research and development new upgrades. Alright, so yeah, essentially this is the flight path of the rocket. Once it'll basically climb the parabola, and then once it hits apoapsis, the highest point, then it'll fall back down to Kerbal and land in the ocean right here. So that's where I want it to land, not on land. Alright. Yeah, and the red plus is a predicted path of where it would land. But normally it would re-enter from here. And this part here is where the capsule will re-enter the atmosphere. So yeah, the capsule will land somewhere in this area right here. But it'll land safely in the ocean. Alright. See, I noticed the orbit speed dropping, obviously, because once it hits the apoapsis, once that gets to 0, then the capsule will then start falling back towards Kerbal. Alright, so yeah, you can go ahead and jettison the stage since I don't really need it. Now what I want to do is warp to apoapsis right here. Even though I actually jettison the stage once it gets to apoapsis, but that's okay. Alright. Now what I want to do is get this in. Now what I want to do is aim the capsule in the retrograde position. Alright. And then arm the parachute. So now this thing's going to be coming in for a landing. So let's go ahead and time warp so that way this thing can fall, because I know because of shrinking attention spans, people don't exactly want to watch the yeah, and then it'll start to re-enter around 50,000 or around 50,000 meters or so is when 50,000 or 40,000 is when the capsule will then start to burn up in the atmosphere. That's why I had to put a heat shield on the bottom of the capsule. And just keep letting it fall. Time warp, and then stop it when it's close to 2,000 meters. So that's what I have it set up for. The parachute will deploy. Yep, parachute away. And I can turn off the RCS since it's not really needed anymore. And then of course Hybe, she'll just fall right down to the ocean. I'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit because the fall is really slow with the parachute. Alright, yeah, I usually would always speed this up because well, you know how small you know how people like shorter videos. Alright, it's almost at the ocean. And splashdown. Alright, and Hybe has landed safely. So yeah, that's the flight of my Saber Twintooth rocket. Let's go to the tracking station. And I want to recover the capsule. I haven't built any aircraft that can recover the capsule. I haven't built a helicopter or anything like that. I'm just doing it the easy way for now. Alright. So anyways, thanks for watching. And there will be more Kerbal Space Program videos in the future, so I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.